Okay. Good morning. We are Samch Tes, Hilchos Melicha, Sif Yud. Ovik Kachavim, Shamesh Beis Yisrael, V'Nosan Habasa B'Kedera. If a goy who works, he's a worker in Jewish household, and he put meat into the Kedera. The Poskim point out that obviously we're not talking about a case where there's Bishul Akum. It's not the focus over here, but that the flame was lit already or whatever. You have no idea whether he had salted meat, but you don't know if he did hadacha. If the non-Jew knows what's required in minig Yisrael, Soimchin al dvarav. We are somich. He says, yeah, of course I washed it off. Im hayasham Yisrael yotze v'nichnas o shum katan ben das. We're somich on his words. If there was a Yisrael who's yotze v'nichnas, or even a katan ben das, because the heter over here, reason we're somich al dvarav according to the Mechaber, is because of the fact that he is because of mirsas. Because if he's caught not following, the Jewish laws, and just do what I want, whatever, he's gonna get fired. So he's afraid to do anything if it's Yotze V'Nichnas. Even a Katan Ben Das is enough to scare him, because the Katan, Katan doesn't have Nemanos. And we say, if the Katan comes to, he comes to his father and with Eidos, no, I saw he didn't do it. That's not going to work. He walks in once, he comes out and says, oh, he didn't do it. That we're not miming him. But a Katan Ben Das, who's he's cutting through the kitchen the whole time, and he understands that the meat has to be, you have to do a dacha on the meat. Nowadays, who knows? Who knows Hilchos Melicha? But that's how it was back then. Obviously, this can apply to any other dinim as well. Some say over here, since we'll see there's what the hierarchy here, what the of the nemanos is. But this could apply by other things as well, by other the dinei kashrus as well. We'll see in a second. The Ramaz says that either you need that it's enough to go ahead. About you could have one Yisrael or Katan, or even Mesiach Lefitumo. Either he knows Minig Yisrael or it's Yotze V'Nichnas. The Mechaber only matters if it's both. He knows Minig Yisrael, and because of that he's afraid because people are going to see him. The Ramah says that we're more makel, and Chavi Nayosagi, it's enough that Omir Sas, or that he knows Minig Yisrael, so we can be samich on him. We don't automatically discount him. He comes, hey boss, I washed that meat off well, whatever it's really clean. Oh, she sell a filo kota yotze v'nichnas.
Tumo means he doesn't know Minig Yisrael.
That's we'll see. That's a machlokes about if some say if he knows Minig Yisrael, then Mesiach V'Tumo does not ne'aman, because you say about Eidos Isha. Some say in this situation, one of the yisodos over here is that since the dam is only the Rabbanon, that's why we're more makel. But the Raisas is different. But or Eidos Isha, the Isha meaning Iguna, we're also more makel by a goy Mesiach V'Tumo because it's a special kula. But the Raisas we're not. So some say, so some say if he knows. So it's Reyes Mesiach Lefitumo. Some say it's not in this situation. And even if it's a katan going in and out, because he's mirsas, Deah minig Yisrael, since he knows minig Yisrael, so he knows he's going to get caught. So if he tells the guy, listen, don't do hadacha till I'm there, who over al dvarav, he says, whatever, I don't care, and he does it anyway. Also, hachazina de eno mirsas, in lisbech gam ken al dvarav. You see that he doesn't care. I know what to do. Don't tell me what to do. Whatever. And then, but in that case, we say that he's not. Let's say Mashgiach comes in and tells the worker, these are the rules of doing things, right? And he doesn't follow one of the rules. You can't trust anything, because you see he's not mirsa. So even if the Mashgiach is Yotze v'nichnas, what the Shir Yotze v'nichnas is. There's a bit of a discussion. If I remember, I didn't look into it now because it comes up. The actual siman of Yotze v'nichnas is later in the Chosei Nesech. But al Chupanim, the mirsas, for example, in Chutzar, it's a more makel idea. Yotze v'nichnas. The point is, since he can come in any second, so he's afraid he's going to just pop in. So that's enough to be scared. Even if he shows up, once a night, the fact that he can, walk in is enough. And some say v'nichnas means literally that he's going in and out. We'll see what the shear is. We'll have to see. Again, like I said, a goy is not neman b'sich l'fitumo by deraisas. This is only since it's derabanan, so the Rama somech on it. The mechaber is not. He dafka says only it's not mesich l'fitumo. It's not neman in this case. Maybe because he knows Bnei Yisrael, so he's not neman. Some say that mesich l'fitumo, even according to the mechaber, neman if he's not talking to he's not talking to the guy. He overhears him in the. He's talking to a different worker, and he overhears. He says, "Yeah, no, I washed it off, and I did this." He doesn't realize that he's being listened to, whatever. That might be. There's some say that's okay. The reason why it's interesting, the Pesach Brim, the Nobi Yehuda, Pesach Tshuva, he said the reason why he's neman, according to the Ramah, is that because at least with Rabbanim, where there is Raglayin Ladavar, that he did it. If he knows the Minig, he knows his Mirsas, whatever it is, Raglayin Ladavar, he did it. The Bakor is because we say, the Kuf Pei Zayin, it says over there that by Refuah, we're somech on Goyish doctors to tell us about whether she is cured. Even there, since there it's also only the Rabbanon. It's a Chumer Rabbanon. It's a Din Rabbanon. We'll see in Hilchos Nida. And we Mesich L'Fitumo, and Mirsas or whatever. We were somech on the doctor for an Issa Rabbanon. So he says, you see from there are somech Issa Rabbanon. Reglaying the Dover that there's whether it's because he's Mirsas or whatever Mesich L'Fitumo, whatever it is, or he knows the minig. So therefore, that's enough. And in the Nobi Yehuda says that even reglayin the davar, let's say you could tell, whatever reason you could tell that some sort of umdana, that also supports the ne'emanus of a non-Jew. So like I said, this is a yisod for a lot of hilchos kashrus and stuff, and whatever. We'll see more. It's going to come up again. We'll see more. Yud Aleph. And there's an interesting. Taz talks about what if about a woman who she says, I don't remember if I did. She cooked it. I don't remember if I did melicha or not, or I did hadacha. What do you do then? Can you eat the meat or you can't? So it's a machlokes Shach and Taz. The Taz says, and a lot of poskim agree with him that you can be makel because since Mrs. Hanashim Ilumada, you have muscle memory over here. It's such a normal thing, in the kitchen for her to do hadacha that we can assume, and it's also the Rabbanan, we can assume that she did it. The Klus Kesef is Cholek, and he says, "What do you mean?" He says, "How could she forget such a big process?" it's a big thing. The fact that she was mesupik, it means that she probably didn't do it. A lot of poskim, go like the Tazan or Makel and say that if it's something, since it's Durabanan, since it's something which she does usually, so therefore we can be samich on it. Yud Aleph. Basar shedizbashel below melicha tzarich sheyeh betavshel shishim keneged oiso basar v'azmut rakol. Meat which was cooked without melicha, then you need in the tavshel you need shishim neged the whole basar, and then it's mutter. Yesh oisim oisa chaticha feel b'deika shishim erech chaticha. Some say that chaticha is still aser. Why? So the Shach explains that even though we don't say that's not because of chanan, chaticha nasis nevela, that the dam makes the whole piece aser. The issue over here. He says, and if it's chanan, then you have to be choshesh shishim neged the whole piece. It's not the tam. He says the reason it's aser is because when you start cooking, if it wasn't melicha, and you start cooking it, choshesh that maybe some of the dam that was left inside, because by melicha it takes out whatever dam it takes out. Whatever's left is stuck in there and doesn't move. We're choshesh that if you didn't do melicha, so if you didn't do melicha, then there is dam inside, and that dam is going to start coming out, and it's not going to, and it's pirish imakom lamakom in the piece of meat, and then it stops. So that's gonna aser the piece of meat, but it doesn't make it aser for the whole pot. Again, that we're choshish for the shita, as long as there's no tzarach gadol, hafsimeruba, whatever it is. The az yesh lisvay chadivrei mekilim divrei the mechaber, that everything is motor. The dam goes out completely with bishul and spreads out and it's motor. Im nimlecha chaticha lo nimlecha koroi. Let's say you salted it, but it wasn't salted koroi, or you salted one side, or you right, okay, let's, whatever the case may be. You didn't do it, you didn't put enough salt, you put the wrong salt, whatever. Dina ki'ilu lo nimlecha klal. If it wasn't done properly, then we don't say, well, yeah, it was chatzi, whatever. It wasn't. It's kilu wasn't nimlecha, and therefore it's the same day that the piece comes aser. Or that, right. Okay, that's the situation. Whatever, yeah, that's whatever the case may be. All right, we're going to see in a minute that meat which sat for 3 days without malicha, even afterwards you salted it, it doesn't make a difference. It does nothing. And again, you still need shishim kenegdo, because even though you salted it, it's kilu, it does nothing. We're going to see the din in a second. What's shagim liyamim? And what's the din?
What's the lashon of mutar hakol? Even the piece of meat itself becomes mutar.
No, because the Mechaber holds that it's isser. Let's say you have a situation, you have treif meat. We'll see in Hichos Tarovas. That's batul b'shishim. The tam. So if it's, again, this is we're talking about over here. Sorry, let's say about Basar B'cholov. Talking about over here, which is it's the dam which asers. The question is, the piece of meat is not aser. It's not like neve. It's not like So the question is, it's
only us was the dam shelo, and that was
right. It's key. Like we're going to see the case in Sadi Beis about a tipas chalav that fell on a piece of basar and v'chule. So there's a shav chanan, but here he said there's no chanan. And therefore, it's just we say the dam spreads out throughout the whole pot, and therefore it becomes bottled. Right. Fine, you base. Basta sheshagil yomi me isa eis belo melicha nisyabish dama v'soichoi v'lo yatsa od ayidei melicha. Ve'ein la'achal b'vusha el tzli. Meat which this is the takanas hagoinim, that meat which sat for 3 days without 72 hours really without melicha, the dam becomes dry, it becomes hard, it hardens inside, and it doesn't, and it's not, and it's too tough for salting to get it out. The only thing that's going to work is tzli, because tzli pulls everything out. But bishul, it's also lavashal, even if you did melicha, we saw before. The achar shetzalo lo yivashlenu. Even after you roast it, you should not cook it. In bishlo mutter. However, it's vashal, it's mutter, because we say don't cook it, because maybe again because the dam is nikrash inside. So yeah, we're matter but they tzliya, but and again, if it wasn't dam which isn't pirish is not usher. Right, dam which doesn't start moving around is not usher. Right, we said you can eat a raw piece of meat before it's salted. But so Rechoshish over here, even the tzliya is not going to go ahead and do 100%, and the bishul is going to go ahead and make it move again, and so that's going to be also. But v'im bishul mutter, because it's only again it's a chumra sagoinim on top of a chumra, which is it's a goinim on top of that. The marshal is machmir even b'diavad, that so I think that's afal pikein. Lamaisa, I think we're at more mekel. Ein lasha is basa gimliyoim below melicha. And you shouldn't keep around meat for 3 days. Aldasi, you're gonna go ahead and roast it, because maybe you're gonna make a mistake and put it in your cholent, and that's gonna be a problem. One of the rayas I saw in the Shulchan, it brings interesting raya. What's the tam of the takana, general takana? What's the tam? Is that he says, for example, by the case of Edus Isha, someone dies and you're trying to identify the body. So after 3 days, is Yishtanet Surasa, like rigor mortis sets in, and even more. He says because the dam is completely, everything dries up, the body dries up, so the face changes also, the parsuf changes, because the fluids in the body dries up. He says, what in here? That after 3 days, the fluids in the meat dry up completely. And so therefore, it becomes hard, and you can't get out the juice, the dam. Roasting can get it out. Roasting is stronger than melicha. It's roasting stronger than melicha. It's just salting is not strong enough. What the goinin said is that melicha is not strong enough to pull that dam out. You give them.
The meat dries out much completely, jerky.
No, that's. If you no, but it doesn't dry. I mean, hey, if you dehydrated
the meat with the blood in it.
Yes, okay. Also, it could be the similar.
Can you solar that?
I would just ask the question, if you just dehydrated meat and you eat it, it was never salted, it was never roasted, nothing.
No.
Well, why is it worse?
Look, because it's heat. It's sliya. You say it's no. If it's you dehydrated in an oven.
Just dehydrate. Can you then eat it?
Oh, it's umsa. If it's umsa, if he didn't do anything without heat or whatever. I mean, if it doesn't rot. But if you put it, let's say in the desert or something, I don't know, whatever, it would be okay. Let's say it's umsa. No, I don't know. The problem is that considered bishul chama? I'm not sure. Even bishul chama. Low temperature still might be a problem. You gimel. Okay, you gimel. Ve'im shara oisel b'mayim tochel gimel yamin yochel hashayisa oishel sheyamim. If in the meantime you soaked it to keep it hydrated within 3 days, acherim. Then it resets the clock at 3 days. Also shepachos chatzi shah, because you soaked it for a chatzi shah, so then it's you start the clock then.
So hosing it down is not enough.
Right. So the place can talk about hosing it down. The Shulchan, the Achronim talk about it. The Shulchan says the Makor says enechnami. The Mechaber's mashma that hosing it down doesn't work. He says if you look in the Agur, the lashon of the Agur is hadacha. It's curious why the Mechaber decided. Beisisif decided that that's not enough. But he says that yes, the chachila you shouldn't do that, but b'di'evid hadacha would be enough because that's the lashon of the Agur and yesh al lismoich and on of course they have the in the what's it called in Tells Out of Shul where Feldman writes that he said they used to get a call from the truck driver with kosher meat saying, Rabbi, I need you to come bless the meat. And so he'd have to go out in the middle of the night. That was 3 days. He had to go out in the middle of the night and hose down the meat. So that's what they used. I don't know if they still do. I don't know what they do nowadays. Yeah, and it could be they fly out or whatever. But al kapanim, that's the middle basar shenilach v'safek nilach tov gimel mutter. Again, if it's a safek, then again it's a safek and a takana, which would has to be like that it's a real mamash, a real suffix, and and it could be it's only after the hefsid or whatever it is. So that would be the shaila that the place can discuss is what about frozen meat? Can you freeze it, the chachila, and does that stop the process? And then when you unfreeze it, then you wait and then you start up the process of the 3 days. Does that stop it? A lot of again, this is a shaila in Europe also. It wasn't just a shaila of freezers in the winter, right? In the cold Lithuanian winter, everything froze up. Aruch Shulchan talks about it. He has an interesting. He says to him it's pashut that when you freeze something, it says ke'evin, that it changes its form and therefore brings a raya from machshiri and trumas, different thing, whatever, miklos. In Taharis it talks about if you freeze if you freeze a mikvah, if you freeze different things, it changes its status, it changes its din. So therefore he says that to him it's pashut that if you freeze it rock hard, then it stops the process, and you can be samich on it.
And then when it defrosts,
it restarts. The Ramosha has a tshuva about it. Ramosha says in a chanami. It's what the Shulchan says that Ami talking about takanas going in also. So why be machmir? The Ramosha says why be machmir if you froze it and there's a svar lahakel? So why? What's the tam lahachmir? So Ramosha says that in a chanami, if b'di'evid, you could be samech on the Aruch Shulchan, you could be samech on the fact that it froze b'di'evid, but l'chachila, a person shouldn't be samech, since there are cholkim, a lot of cholkim on the Aruch Shulchan, and a lot of poskim are, and it's a big machlokes. So again, it comes to Isser v'heter, l'chachila, why samech on that? Obviously, if you can't get meat, there's different reasons, but don't just I'm just going to put it in my freezer and he's. And because there are those poskim who are achronim who are cholik, because they say that it doesn't get completely frozen and there's water on it and it's like kavush. He says it's a chiddush, but since it's a machlokes, so he says don't set up your hechsher that way. If you can't get meat somewhere, I don't know. Depends. You need meat, don't need meat, whatever. That's person. These are all questions of what's considered b'di'evid. Al kopanim. Al Kopanim l'chachila, he says you shouldn't be samech on it, but b'di'evid it's fine. I know there was a discussion here. Poskim here generally machmir. Some it's also machlokes here. The more mahadran hechshem don't rely on freezing. I don't know if l'maisa nowadays. There was a time that they did bring in meat here, froze it, and bring it. I don't know if they still do. But al Chopanim, it's to set up a hechsher chachila that way, Pasha, you shouldn't do that. And the tzarech, what the tzarech is, you can't get kosher meat, whatever. Anyway, we'll stop here.